Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you're watching another TGIF full of tips, guidance, information, and facts. No, facts, not facts. As you can imagine, I get asked questions all the time, including the question, Chris, how do I get started with making videos on YouTube? And my answer is going to sound very simple, but it really is a simple thing to do. You just start doing videos on YouTube. Step 1, have something to say or share, or say and share. You can do both at the same time. But since anybody and everybody can pick up a camera, anybody and everybody is picking up a camera. So think about what you want to do in a video. That's probably the most important part of a video, not to take away from the values of video production, which may include choice of a camera, making sure lighting is right. If you don't have a reason to do the video in the first place, why do it? Step 2, and this is possibly where we're going to lose a lot of people, you gotta hit record, or press record, or tap record, or record the video. Most people never get to that point. They get too worried about having everything in perfect alignment, and sometimes you gotta go for it. It's okay to listen to the voice in your head when you're about to do something dangerous, and don't get me wrong, the video you're about to do may very well be dangerous, but you got to record it. You got to try, because if you don't record the video you want to do, who else is going to do it? You're never going to do it. So just do it. You don't even have to talk in your video. What you could do is record things around you, experiences, and share them in video. But of course, what you will soon realize is that sometimes video is very time intensive. For example, you're watching me and listening to me talk into a camera lens, but it took me time to actually do that. And then of course go through the process of putting it into a format that would be somewhat entertaining and hopefully informative. For every 1 minute of produced video, assume between 10 minutes and an hour worth of work went into it. But consider the payoff. You're doing a video, you're sharing your thoughts, you're sharing your world, you're sharing your experiences, but again, don't stop yourself. Record. Your production value is probably going to improve over time as technology improves and as your skill as someone who does videos improves. You probably don't want to bother looking at some of the first videos I ever recorded, or some of the videos I recorded last week. I could always do a better job, but the point is, I did it. That brings me to number 3. Do your best, record your best, keep your best, share your best. If you're a human being, you probably know more today than you did a year ago. And you probably are a different person today than you were even 5 years ago. We all evolve. We change. Today's best may not be tomorrow's best. You're always going to look back on the things that you did and think, God, I could have done better. Well, that's good. Keep striving to improve yourself. That's not just a tip for video production, that's a tip for life as well. Imagine if you had to sit through 15 minutes of me talking about this stuff. You'd probably tune out. In a live video, it's fine because it's a bit more dynamic and there's not much video editing involved with a live video. But this is a produced video, so you're probably not going to hear everything that I said. What we're going to keep in the video editing process is worth keeping though. And after you edit your first video, I think you'll appreciate why I like doing a lot of live video. But above all, do your best. The next tip is optional, but before you put your video out there for the world to watch, you might want to pass it in front of friends and family members privately first, because you may have a certain idea in mind or what you're trying to convey with that video, but it may miss on a few marks, and if you can get qualified feedback, it would just make for a better video, so long as you're someone who values feedback and can accommodate it without getting your feelings hurt. And here's a pro tip: if your friends are hurting your feelings on a regular basis, they're not your friends. Even with all the experience I've accrued over these years, I still value feedback, so long as it's constructive. People think that they have the right to judge you simply because you put your face, your name, your everything into a video or really anywhere throughout social, and that's not the case. So when you get the hate, accommodate. They may be having a bad day. They're jealous of your talents. Or maybe, just maybe, they're horrible people. If they don't respect you, you don't need to respect them in return. Only place value in the people who value you. At this point, you might be thinking, what does that have to do with YouTube? Well, have you ever seen a YouTube comment thread? Yeah, if you haven't, you might not want to start now. Some people are extremely supportive, and you gotta love them. But it's just that one person, and I use the word person loosely, who seems to throw you off, to derail everything that you've done. One of the most difficult parts about doing videos on YouTube is facing possible rejection. And when it happens, it doesn't feel good. If you like the video you did, does it really matter how other people feel about the video that you did? Probably not. So what's the best camera to use for YouTube? We all have our favorites. There's really no one camera that works. If it can record video, or you could edit video in some kind of program or application, well, ultimately that's what matters, because YouTube is about video, and it really doesn't matter so much what camera you use. Or let me put it to you another way. The camera is not as important as the content. If you're looking for a quick production tip, I'd tell you to keep an eye on audio quality. Even though you can't really see audio, you can't keep an eye on it physically. I'm just saying, be mindful that audio is very important. My next tip is to learn that your path may not be the same as somebody else's. Do videos the way you want to do them. Build your channel how you want to build your channel. Don't do it the way someone else has done it, because they're not you and you're not them. Be yourself in video. Or if you don't want to put yourself in video, just shoot things the way that you would want to see them. If you're not happy with what you do, don't expect others to be as well. Be happy with what you're able to do. Be happy with being yourself. Next, don't expect to hit a home run every time. You might get lucky and every video you upload gets 1 million views, but more often than not, you're probably going to average not quite 1 million views per video. But don't pay too much attention to view count and subscriber numbers. 1,000 people who actually care about the things you're doing are more important than 100,000 people who don't. Do stuff that you want to do and that you find other people appreciate just as much as you do. My next and possibly final tip for this video is don't expect to quit your day job anytime soon. Oh, I know, as someone who may not have produced video on YouTube before, you think that people are making tons of money with ads. Some of them are. Most of them are not. If anything, you'll probably get most benefit from working with sponsors or possibly getting hired for gigs external to your YouTube channel. This is one of the reasons why I've been expanding my production team, because now I have the opportunity to do more than just what you're watching me do right now. Bonus tip! If you don't own it, don't share it. And that includes somebody else's story. Make sure you get permission, otherwise, well, it's just not right. Here's to hoping that if you have not started on YouTube yet, you'll start soon. And if you really need more help, I'm here for you. Chris at Pirillo.com.